Welcome to Thinkers Table, the new podcast covering diverse voices and the most unique stories in deep tech. My name is Ved Lahana and I'm a product owner at One Trading, a cryptocurrency exchange. I've previously been an intern at AWS, an operator of various European fintechs, as well as a Web3 angel investor. Thinkers Table is a podcast covering all things deep tech, from AI to blockchain to climate tech. Each episode will introduce a new guest covering how they broke into tech, their most recent projects, and some lessons they've learned along the way. So join me and listen if you want to get deep into tech. Hey everyone, welcome back to episode 7 of Thinkers Table. My guest today is one who has been in my pipeline for a very long time and one who I've interacted with for a very long time. It's Pablo Veyrat. He is the founder of Angle Protocol, who have been invested in by the likes of A16Z, and they are a stablecoin company. Lovely to have you on, Pablo.
Great to be here. Thank you so much for having me today. It's a pleasure.
No, appreciate your time. I know the world of stablecoins is always growing.
I mean, I wouldn't say that it's been the best year for stablecoin. I don't think the market has really grown. If you compare from 2022, when it was funneled by the bull market. 2010, 2021, 2022. 2022 was the top. And now it's kind of more stagnated with a redistribution of value and of TVL across various players. But mostly the same players here, some newcomers. The use case for stablecoin hasn't really changed. We have seen a little and slow adoption, and I'd say it's an organic adoption. With respect to if you compare it to adoption driven by just people getting into stablecoins for tax reasons when they before buying BTC or stuff. So business is booming for stablecoin issuers because they are earning interest rate on their deposits at the bank, which was not the case back in 2022. But in terms of pure market fit for stablecoins, evolution has been quite slow. I believe we're not there yet at the state of mass adoption.
Okay, yeah, I don't think we're there at the state of mass adoption, but I think the players that are coming into the space, like I know PayPal, PYUSD, and some other things that have happened this year is definitely positive. I've got my Circle hat on, which I got at DAS. I thought it'd be a relevant hat to wear for the episode. But before we get into anything stablecoins, let's take it back a step. Tell me who you are as a person, and if you can, try and sum up who is Pablo Veyrat in one sentence, in a professional and then also as a personal sense.
Okay, so I'll try with the longer presentation, and then maybe we'll go with the more personal, personal and professional stuff. So as you may hear from my accent, I'm a Frenchman. I'm an engineer based in Paris. Been in crypto since end of 2020, so I'm not I'm not an NOG in the space. I'm more a newcomer from the past wave, the past bull market. And I got into it because I'm someone I'd say pretty conventional. So I did engineering studies, I took classes, I got lucky enough to get crypto classes in the engineering schools I've been to. Nice. And so these crypto classes are what got me into crypto. It was not a side interest or a large frustration I had in my life because I don't know, I faced issues with my bank or so. I didn't have any of this. I didn't face any of this. It was more what drove me into the space. It was more the composability and the fact that it felt that it was a brand new world, that everything had to be built. And my thesis for why crypto and DeFi is powerful. I've kind of built it along the way. It's not that I had the thesis and I started to work. It's more that I started to work because it was fun. It was math, economics, computer science, and then I understood how powerful this could be. So this was the way, rather than getting a strong conviction and putting all in into it. So professionally, I'd say that I'm hardworking, but cool, cool person. One of our number one values at Angle is sobriety. So we are not the shiny people who are going to go after everything that is hot and trendy. We're more focused on our long-term goals. So I'd say that it's what qualifies me professionally. So I'm a like professionally, I'm as if I was a marathon runner. So never sprinting, but
Mhm.
always keeping my pace and, if possible, a high pace. Sorry.
It's
And
okay.
personally, I'd say that I'm kind of the same. Like not hardworking, but uh, I like everything I do. I like to do it like 100%. So when I'm with my friends, I'm 100% with my friends. Same
Mhm.
with my girlfriend. Same when I do like sports. I have a pretty I have a competitive mindset. I don't like
Nice.
to lose. Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah, I never give up, and I like to be in the moment.
I mean, I was about to say in the stablecoin space, you definitely need to be competitive. You definitely need to have that mindset. So it's cool. And no, that's a great. I think it's a very contrasting story because a lot of the people you speak to, some problem they encountered in like 2016 to do with like international remittances or some backstory. But it's kind of cool that you got the exposure through large institutions. Like I know you did a lot of crypto class at Stanford. I know you did some at Polytechnique. So it's nice that these institutions, even though they are long standing, some would say really academically driven, but they are massive academic institutions. They still offer these like really nascent technology lessons, and I think that's actually a really really cool, interesting way that you
I
got into
think it
crypto.
changed. Like I think this year was the last year where Stanford gave the crypto class,
Oh
and so
wow,
they are no longer giving it. I need to check in
only
Polytechnique.
AI.
Yeah, only AI. And I talked to the professor, which gave the crypto class in Stanford, like 3 years after I took the class, and he told me
Mhm.
like, listen, the number of students you have like registered for a class, it's perfectly correlated to the price of Bitcoin. Like, so whenever there is a bull market, a lot of people are just like taking the class. And now that interest has a bit faded away from students and everyone wants to do AI, like no one is like doing the class. And so this is why I think Stanford removed it.
Wow. I mean, that's kind of sad, but I understand they're a business at the end of the day. They have to run by demand. But cool. That's really nice to hear. Like why you got into the space and how you got into the space. Um, I guess a question I would have, and I ask everyone in crypto this. It's not specific to founders, but why do you stay in the space when it's so turbulent, and what keeps you motivated? Because you just said you entered during the bull market. We went through a very, very, very tough bear. And we're now coming out of that, but what keeps you around?
Um, I think that what keeps me around, it's so one, the fact that I don't like to lose,
Mm.
and I don't feel like I've done like what I could do in the space. So I like there's still something that we can prove at Angle, and we have a respectable size in terms of like the stablecoins, the product we developed, but we're not
Mhm.
the top at the top, or we haven't had the impact that we wanted to have. So this is a big motivation, but I'd say that the more genuine motivation here, uh, it's whenever I see like inefficiencies in banking systems, in like worldwide finance, like there is so much to improve, there is so much value to be created, and it'd be a shame
Mhm.
if I didn't put all my energy trying to like improve finance, improve like the financial world. So
Mm.
and sometimes people tend to lose the trend, and it's like it's one drawback of like crypto people, where everyone is like so versatile, focusing on the next hot thing, um, many people tend to forget why we're doing
Sure.
this and the value and like what we could create. It's easy to get lost in like, hey, risk taking is going to change the world. Yes, it's interesting, it's an interesting idea, but like it's not going to be what is the main driver of like why banks or other financial
Yeah.
institutions would use like finance and blockchains in the long term. So
Mhm.
the perspective of being able to create a tremendous value for everyone, to disintermediate finance, not necessarily to decentralize it, but to disintermediate it, and kind of reduce banks and create a more competitive ecosystem for everyone. Like that's what motivates me in the industry.
Nice. That's super cool. My next question was going to be, what's your ultimate goal? But I think you've kind of answered that, like what drives you and
Yeah,
what is the goal. But um, it's really interesting, disintermediate
no, I
rather than
agree.
decentralized. It's a
Uh, I think
concept
I've
I
lost you.
haven't really thought that much about, but I I understand the arguments that would be for and against, but it's a very, very interesting take on open finance and stable coins in general. Um, I guess like bringing it back again. So obviously you took these classes in Polytechnique and Stanford, and you obviously became interested in efficiency in open finance and the financial world. How did Angle come about? What's the origin story?
I mean, Angle was not the most calculated move. Sometimes people will like rewrite the story and be like, "Hey, we had anticipated everything from scratch." Not our case. We just wanted to work in DeFi because we of the like math, economics, computer science aspects, and we wanted to find a market opportunity. And we saw quickly that there were no euro stablecoins in DeFi and in the market at all. And so we're
Hmm.
like, okay, like let's create euro stablecoins. Let's make a way for people to like let's create tools for people to take advantage of DeFi without having to care about an exchange risk. So this is how like we came together, and it was at the same time we saw like how Maker worked, and we're like, can we improve this?
Hmm.
Can we improve the way with which decentralized stablecoins are done? Can we create a better system? Um, and it's funny enough, like at this point we didn't have all the insights that we have nowadays on how stablecoins work, how stablecoins operate, and it was quite a naive approach that we had, like thinking that we could from scratch like create a 10x model that would be 10x better. And Maker, like it's quite robust, and everyone faces the same limitations. And if there was a winning model that someone could create that would like really drastically change the way with which decentralized stablecoins were done, I think Maker would have implemented it from scratch. And so
Yeah.
we still created our own way to do stablecoins, and it's quite similar to how Ethena works today, by the way. But we haven't been able to
Hmm.
package it like Ethena. So starting point was like, let's do Euro stablecoins. Let's improve decentralized stablecoins. We're still students at Stanford, and when we finished Stanford, started to speak to VCs, and we ticked all the right boxes. Right studies. It was like kind of the bull market, and everyone had dry powder to invest in DeFi, and so pretty rapidly we've been able to sign our seed round. And then when we like got the term sheet, we're like, okay, like this is what we're going to do professionally, and we're going
Nice.
all in on our stablecoin now.
Nice. I mean, that's a cool origin story, and it's really, really cool that you guys have been able to do it at such a young age, straight out of your masters, and you filled up that seed round with, like I was saying, A16Z, loads of other notable investors, and very quickly. So that's interesting, and it's cool that um, you can now have the reflection to see that there were things that maybe were done or weren't done, and I guess it's quite rewarding to look back. But okay, that's super interesting.
And
Taking it
there is
back,
always also the idea. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
no, go for it. No, tell me, I'm intrigued.
No, I want to say that there is like when you launch something, if you know exactly what to expect, like it would deter many people, and we didn't know what we were getting into, when we started. And if we had known, like we would have done things completely differently, probably in a better way, or probably would have been like completely repelled by like all the obstacles along the way. And when we launched, everything
Yeah,
seems so bright, like hey, we're going to make a killing out of it. It's going to be easy. No, like nothing is ever easy. Like, and there is nothing to take for granted. Even if like you're a team of smart guys who know how to write math, how to code, like there is no silver bullet.
yeah.
And
No,
I believe the naiveness like we had at this time really helped us like get into it and actually do something.
no, I think that's a great like piece of wisdom to take away, because everyone always says if you think about the end goal, you're never gonna enjoy the journey there, and you will never think about the next step or the next day. You're always thinking about, oh, what's the outcome, what's the payout. And I think crypto, especially hard to do that in crypto, and I'm sure you must have found it challenging, as someone is in an industry that's moving this quickly and that's this um cyclical, has so many different signals that people love to just harp on, and buzzwords, and it's a very it's a very trend led market, and I think that can sometimes come to its detriment a lot, but also sometimes can make the market what it is. But um I guess I would love to do like a really, really quick fire round on crypto in general, your thoughts, since we're on the topic. So obviously we have the term in crypto noob, which is a newbie, someone who has no ideas, is a common term. What are your top tip to a noob in crypto?
So my top tip is to get people, like, first when they talk about trading, to make people understand that there is a strong casino culture, and to like only bet money they can lose, and that ultimately
Nice.
there are no like there are some fundamentals, but it's all like it's a social construct, like why people buy Bitcoin. It's like the same social construct that makes us like gold and put value into gold, like the same
Yeah.
goes with
Yeah.
Bitcoin. So you shouldn't try to like overthink, and like look into the latest trend. It's all a casino. You may get lucky, you may not get lucky. Historically, people who bought have been lucky. If you buy at the wrong time, like, you lose money. And
Absolutely. Yeah.
so that's that's kind of the play, like, for people to invest. Then when people ask me like what's interesting with crypto and blockchains, I'm like, crypto I'm not interested. Blockchains, crypto in the sense of casino, I'm not interested. Blockchains I am interested because it's a fabulous standard, and a fabulous
Mhm.
way to build financial applications, and applications that could literally change, and revolutionize how, like, banks, how finance, but I have a really financial, like, perspective, but you can do
Yeah.
far more than finance, identity stuff. Like, a lot can be done on blockchains. But so blockchains, it's a great standard, if you want to build financial applications. There are like 50,000 credit institutions in the world,
Mhm.
all with their backend, with their like compliance, their back office processes. On the blockchains, you could have like one standard, the same and everyone for all, and you wouldn't need to rebuild your whole like compliance infrastructure, your whole like back office layer. People could rely on standardized tools to like handle these operations, and it would be a massive savings for everyone. So this is just like one example, for people to understand what's really valuable about what we try to do in DeFi and stuff.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, when you think about something like GMX and how much that unlocked, because it was basically you could replicate the GMX engine across any other DEX that you wanted to build, and it was amazing. I remember trading a lot on GMX back in the day,
Yeah,
but
for
that's
me, GMX
interesting.
is
It's
not the.
interesting top tip.
I mean, it's interesting. It funnels the casino culture. Like, it's a cool product. Let people
It
trade,
is. It is.
but it's GMX V2 is better because it's like immutable markets, easier to understand. But still, like, it's really powerful to think of like perpetual dexes on which anyone can trade, incensurable and stuff. But I wouldn't put it
Yeah.
as like the top example of how crypto can really be useful, because it's too correlated with
Yes.
just like
Yeah.
DeFi for the use of DeFi and for DeFi users, and like the circle that just close to itself.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's definitely a bubble that only very few crypto native people know about and want to actually interact with on a regular basis. And reality, yeah, the use case for crypto blockchains, whatever you want to call it, is blockchains, because ultimately they are the scalable technology that can take us to whatever efficiency standard or whatever we need to achieve as a humankind. But that's super cool. On the point of applications and other protocols, what is your favorite DeFi protocol? Obviously, aside from Angle.
I'd say Uniswap V3.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
because one it's like it's a real protocol, so it's immutable infrastructure on which anyone can build. It's fully predictable. Like, when you
Mhm.
do a swap, you know exactly how it's going to behave. You don't have to trust a DAO
Yeah.
or anything of the sort. Um, and as I'm an engineer, I like the beauty of the math inside and how they've been able to like really simplify. I mean, put in like a very concise way some very complex elements. And when you look
Mhm.
into the math of Uni v3, it's quite like advanced math, and being able to write this down in a smart contract language, in a smart contract that has never been hacked and has never faced any issue, well, for me, like, it's a masterpiece. So Uni v3 I really
Nice.
like, and I like, I wouldn't call these protocols, but more like products operating on top of other DeFi primitives. I like
Yeah.
CoSwap,
Nice.
uh,
Yeah.
because
That's a good one.
it's a super elegant solution, like to enable people to swap between assets.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, Castle's a good one. Uni V3, I've read the documentation and it is really, really elegant, and the efficiency improvements are massive. So it is I can definitely get behind those too. Also, I think CalSwap is that French as well? Is it a French project?
No, it's German. It's a
That's
German team, I think.
German. Ah,
Yeah.
okay, nice.
I wish it was French, but
Um,
no.
I remember going to DAS and I met someone who was French who worked in the CalSwap team. So
Yeah. No, maybe.
maybe that's my fault. Um, cool. I guess now coming on to your vertical, can you describe to me a stablecoin, but only in 30 seconds?
A stablecoin is a crypto asset which is designed to keep a stable value with respect to a reference. So this reference can be the dollar. So you can have like stablecoin crypto assets which are built to be worth $1. Can
Mm-hmm.
be Bitcoin, and so you can have assets which are not Bitcoin but which are designed to keep a stable value with respect to Bitcoin. It can be
Yeah.
gold, it can be whatever. This is a stablecoin.
Okay. Fine. You had another 3 seconds, but you got it in time. You got it in 27
I mean,
seconds. That's
then I can explain how stablecoin works. How to do stable coins and why it's interesting and stuff. But the it's like
we can
a stable coin, it's like a dollar.
we can dive into that
Yeah, I mean, I can go in more details if you
because
want.
there's one time where I was in a I think it was a seminar actually, and basically someone was saying crypto. It was a like not a tradfi. It was a non-finance, almost like political thinking seminar, and someone basically said all crypto is volatile. You cannot ever have a cryptocurrency where it doesn't fluctuate, and therefore we can't use it for this use case and this use case. And then I explained to them a stablecoin, and then they went out and bought loads of like stablecoin. But it was very interesting to see that. I think the concept of a stablecoin is actually less well known than we think in the crypto world. It's something that we are all very aware of. But if you asked a general person what's Bitcoin, they could probably answer you. If you ask someone what's a stablecoin, what's USDC, they would probably have no idea, which is really, really interesting to hear because ultimately they probably have a larger use case or even there's an argument that they will have a larger user base eventually and end users will be using stablecoins way more, so it's interesting.
No, great. And it's true. It's like everyone in DeFi, we take for granted the fact that everyone understands us. Or when even people communicating about their protocol, and we did the mistake, and we still do it quite often. Like everyone feels like everyone understands the referential in which they are. Typically, there's one lending protocol which launched recently. I don't know if you know about Euler. It's a team I really like. They developed a great protocol, but in the launch announcement, like if you
Mhm.
look into it, it's like like you cannot understand like the concepts or the value if you just read into it, because it assumes so much understanding of their core like system and how everything works that
Yeah,
it makes nonsense not only to the newbie but also like to someone who is already in DeFi. And so it's a common mistake we all do, taking for granted the fact that people come with the same like background, have the same background as we have, because people do not have the same background, the same context. For people completely out of DeFi, background is like way like less. I mean, background is smaller than like for people in DeFi. And for stablecoins, like I believe 70% of the people in the world do not know what a stablecoin is, if not more.
yeah, yeah, probably. Well, I think that figure would definitely be pretty much what I would estimate because yeah, yeah, we take it for granted. Um, cool. Next question is, what's your favorite wallet provider?
Rabi, I mean Ledger plus Rabi.
Okay, fair enough. And final question, and this is an important one because I know obviously you're a mathematician, so you must look a lot of data. What is the best analytics tool in crypto, in your opinion?
The best analytics tool in crypto.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hard one. Like we use I mean, I don't want to say Dune because everyone should say Dune, and we don't use Dune a lot. I like token terminal as a way like to streamline, but in the end, it's DeFi Llama. Like from by far, DeFi Llama is the best way to get info on crypto. It's fully open source. They have a great ethos. They're like great team, super responsive. So I don't think you can do any better than DeFi Llama.
Yeah, I think I would agree, and also it's a great UI. I find it personally really, really, really intuitive. Um, And yeah, it's really nice that everything is not behind a paywall because some of the providers that are more expensive than others who are providing great services but are behind paywalls are really, really difficult to access. And I think that's not it's not a great onboarding experience, you know.
Yeah, no. I mean, there were some competitors to DeFi Llama in the first place, and people asked to pay. And DeFi Llama went like, we take for granted the fact that DeFi Llama is free, but there is nothing natural in having DeFi Llama completely free and have this information as a public good. So really,
That's
like,
true.
I think we should be grateful to have them in the industry.
Yeah, that's true. Shout out to DeFi Llama team.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's dive a little bit. Let's now transition and dive a little bit deeper to what is Angle. Let's get a little bit deeper into how the product works. Obviously, for everyone who doesn't know, you can kind of, why don't you just take us through like Euro A or EURA, and talk to us about the Euro stablecoin, because I think that's your core offering in my eyes. And
I
just
mean,
talk to us.
we have the USD stablecoin now, which is bigger than the Euro stablecoin.
Oh, fine.
But so with Angle, we have two stablecoins, a Euro and a USD stablecoin. These are
Yeah.
decentralized stablecoins, which means that they run on like they are operated by a DAO, run fully on smart contracts.
Mhm.
The particular things with our stablecoins is that stablecoin holders can earn a yield from this natively, because as a protocol we earn a revenue on our reserves, and we are like fully collateralized, fully backed, and I'll explain more of this later. And all this revenue that we're generating is going towards people who deposit their stablecoins into like our like
Pools.
savings solution.
Okay, fine.
Globally, like our meta, what we try to achieve with Angle is we know that finance is more efficiently done on chain than off chain, and we try to build systems that like can take some simple things from TradFi and do it more efficiently in DeFi. So with our savings product, we kind of create solutions where anyone can get in, get out whenever they want, wherever they want, with no fees. Like you can mint our stablecoin 1-1 with like USDC, USC, which you can also on-ramp for free. And then like you can stay for how long, like as long as you want. If you stay for 1 second, you earn 1 second worth of yield. You get a full transparency on where the yield is coming from. Like it's not like, hey, lend us money and we'll pay you later, the FTX type of way. Like you can really see where where we are generating our yield, and basically we have like some yield sources in TradFi. We buy forms of tokenized T-bills. We also lend a portion in DeFi, and we are trying to offer yield, which is the best of very low risk DeFi and TradFi yields. Meaning that if you get more by buying securities than by lending on Morpho or Aave or whatever, you'll get the securities yield. If you get more by lending on Morpho, the yield we'll offer will be the Morpho yield. And all of this is fully passive. You don't have to manage this because the protocol automates all these like rebalancing operations. So we brand as a stablecoin because many people use us as like a way to park their euro holdings. But nowadays, like people use us because if Circle USDC is the layer one or USC is the layer one, we are the layer two, expanding the capabilities of these stablecoins and of other USD and Euro stablecoins by offering like the most user-friendly, flexible, transparent, scalable, and robust yield solution in the market. So that's kind of how it works, like from a high level overview, and that's what we want people to understand of our systems. Like you go to see us if you want to, you have capital at rest, you want to put it to work, you want to be able to exit at any time and with any amount, like just use Angle, because that's the most robust and scalable way to do it at the moment on chain.
Nice. That's a good summary. I know the thing that I find cool that you just mentioned is basically all of your rewards that you are accruing is all basically published, and you can testify to, it's coming from T-bills, coming from tokenized T-bills, it's coming from a DeFi pool. Because I find that sometimes when sometimes I'm scrolling on DeFi Llama and I'll go to the yield section, I'll have a look at some stablecoin pools which are like, I mean, like maybe PYUSD and USDC on Camino, and the actual base rate is like 0.6, and then the reward rate is I think 15.5, and that incentivization is coming from somewhere, whether it's grants from Paxos or someone. You don't know where exactly it's coming from, and you don't know where that incentivization sits. And I think that's really cool that you guys offer that visibility into where that yield is coming from, because I sometimes find like when I'm sometimes I have like a passively managed portion of my portfolio and I have actively. And for my passive, I sometimes do stablecoin yield pools, I do some other stuff, but I sometimes am like making an annualized calculation or doing some sort of like risk risk calculation in my head, and I'm like, this reward rate, which is 15.5%, how long will it last? Because you have no assurance, there's no lock in. It's not like security where you say, like the loan is good till, or you have 40 days, you have etc. It's this is a reward rate. It could change tomorrow, it could change today.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that is a really cool feature of you. So I appreciate that.
I mean, yeah, we try to do something which is non-dilutive, fully organic, sustainable. And it's easy to get lured, by like token incentives and stuff. And it kind of blurs the market fit for many protocols, like where like putting a lot of incentives, hoping that it will be sticky. And they're like, hey, a lot of people use us, but people just use you because they want to farm your token and dump it like later on. So and yeah, like we don't issue tokens. Like we have a token that is live, but like we do some incentive emissions, but really small ones, and on very calculated use cases. Like all the yields we try to offer real yield to our users.
Yeah, nice. I guess you've answered it in a way, but if you could give me your top three summary line items as a maybe crypto native, or even as a non-crypto native, as a trading desk, whatever the use case may be, what do you think Angle offers over like a centralized fiat-backed stablecoin like USC or a Circle or a USDC? What do you think the main three advantages are?
So whenever you're using a centralized stablecoin, you're just paying an opportunity cost. Like you're paying an opportunity cost to Circle, which
Yeah,
is making money out of like your
your
stablecoin
deposits.
holdings. Like
Yeah,
it's not normal. Like in the market, there is this notion, in economy, there is this notion of risk-free rate, and risk-free rate means that it's risk-free, and like we take for like banks have been really good at making us like feel that we do not deserve this risk-free rate, but it's not
yeah,
normal. Everyone should be able with their savings to access the risk-free rate of the market. And when you hold USDC, when you hold USC, you're completely deprived of this risk-free rate. You don't earn anything. Well, it should be the normal. Like the easiest way to fight against inflation is just to get something which like to at least earn the risk-free rate on your USD and Euro deposits. With our stablecoins, we offer access to like something which is at least above this risk-free rate. There are some risks, like there are risks in any DeFi protocols, and
of
like
course.
we're super transparent about them. And I believe like our risks are really, really lower than many of the DeFi protocols because we're fully collateralized and everything. And we work with like the top of like risk management, financial advisory firms on like managing our asset liability, managing our solvency risk and stuff. But yeah, we offer a yield which should be the normal, and which Circle and Tether, like they don't. When you hold USDT, you don't get anything from them.
Yeah, yeah. The risk-free rate is an important thing that we should all be able to access. I agree. Cool. I guess we'll come back onto Angle a little bit later. To just quickly touch on, I guess, crypto and the cyclical nature of it. Obviously, we saw in 2021 like the big narrative of the year was DEXs. In 2022, we saw liquid staking. In 23, we saw tokenized assets. What do you see this year's narrative has already been, and what do you think it will be for the next quarter?
This year's narrative was definitely restaking.
Yeah.
Not that I'm a fan of it, but yeah, like fact is it was restaking. Like many people spoke about Ethina and derivatives back type of assets. It's hard to predict the narratives of next year, and I
Yeah.
hope there won't be any narratives, and that the narrative will be let's focus on building useful stuff, like that improves people's life and that just do not serve like people already in the industry. And if this is the narrative, and if it's focusing about building infrastructure that scales and that can help banks, finance, or consumer apps or whatever that can really be a 0 to 1 when it comes to the financial world as we know today,
Hmm.
then I'd be happy with it.
Yeah.
And that's how I want it to be. And
Yeah.
I believe we have almost everything, thanks to the past narrative cycles. Like we need dexes, we need lending markets, we
Yeah.
need layer twos for scalability reasons. These are past narratives, and we're now getting close to the point where everything is ready. Everything is lined up for crypto to be adopted, not by like every mainstream user, because we won't have like tons of users going to crypto. Like everything will be abstracted away, and we will have abstraction layers, and sometimes like people will be using the banks without knowing that there are crypto systems underneath.
Yeah.
But I don't mind. Like I still it would be a better system than what we know today. And so the like everything that relates to this, like making finance and blockchain a thing, this should be the narrative, and this is what I hope like everyone's focus will crystallize on.
Nice. That's a nice answer. I think I can agree with that. I think short-termism in crypto maybe has reached the end of its tail. People need to realize we have the stack, we have the tech stack, or we have the product stack that we need in order to take it to that next level. So yeah, that's a good answer. I can agree to that. Coming back a little bit to Angle, and you just mentioned obviously you guys don't mint tokens, but you have your own token, and everything in Angle is run by a DAO. Everything's run by a DAO and a smart contract. Would you class yourself as a crypto fundamentalist? If someone asked you that question, would you say yes or would you say no?
No, I'm not a fundamentalist. I'm a pragmatist. Like, I'm not a decentralization maxi. I don't stick to like all the values of Bitcoin, even though like I like them, I understand why people defend them, but that's not, and I respect them. That's not what drove me in the space. What drove me in the space, it's the possibility to create a more efficient financial world. It doesn't need to be decentralized. I'm not a libertarian, even though like I love my liberty, but like I'm not against like the state, against like the big economy and stuff. So I'm more into like what's going to be useful and how can we build this world to actually provide value.
Okay,
it implies making compromises.
Yeah, for sure. I guess also a question that I think I love to ask people in crypto when they always like have their own token or they have their own protocol in general. How did you come up with the tokenomics or token design in your head? Were you thinking what were you thinking when you came up with the design?
We didn't think a lot about it. We just copy pasted what other people were doing at the time, which is like what everyone is doing. You know, like points work. One in the day you have one innovator which tries something new, it works, and then everyone copies them. So this is how we approach this on our side.
Yeah, I mean, Pendle did amazing. Pendle points are great, and I know it's huge part of it. But we'll come on to that later with Merkle because I love that product. I think it's a really cool one that you guys have launched. So we'll get into it. Obviously, you have also mentioned that you guys now have a USD product, and previously you had a Euro product, and the USD product is bigger. What prompted the move? Like, why? What made you think USD is the next move? Obviously, it is what crypto's run on, but what for you thought was like the point at which you said we need to have a USD product?
We kind of launched on the bet that Euro would take over, like the Euro stablecoin market would not take over, but with the size of Euro stablecoins with respect to USD stablecoins would rebalance with respect to the size of Euro and like USD overall. This bet didn't work out, and people like still trade the USD stablecoins, and we should have come to this conclusion a bit sooner, more rapidly than it did. So the reason for the move was that we had all the technique, like the stack to build stablecoins easily, and we believe that we have a stack that is better than like the stack of USD stablecoins in the market. It's not a matter of like technicity, building a stablecoin. You know, like things are getting pretty commodified. You can be better on some elements, like, but it's not going to be what moves the needle. What moves the needle is really like distribution. Like once you're safe enough, like audited and stuff, what matters is distribution and how you create demand for your stablecoins.
Yeah.
And so we knew we had something which we could easily launch. Sorry.
You need to take some medicine after this to make sure you recover.
I do. So something with which we could easily launch. We knew that the USD stablecoin market was far bigger. We knew that the regulatory environment was a bit more favorable than it was like years before when we didn't launch our USD stablecoin, because some people had told us, and they were right at the time, to tell us I wouldn't launch a USD stablecoin if I were you, because it's like kind of tense at the moment with the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
But like we at the same time, so this is kind of the meta, and we knew that we could bring something unique with like our forex capabilities. Like if you have a USD stablecoin and if you have a Euro stablecoin, then you are uniquely positioned to facilitate trades between your
Yeah.
two stablecoins at a price which is like good with respect to like real off-chain forex market prices.
Mm-hmm.
And we knew we would be equivalent, if not a bit better, to all aspects to other stablecoins if we launched our USD stablecoin. But we knew that having this Euro and this USD stablecoin would give us a unique edge, and that there would be lots of interesting things on which we could work on. And this is why we're working on at the moment. You know, like we knew we could innovate on this, and this was kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back, and that made us like, okay, shit, we will do it.
Yeah, you need to do it at that point. Okay, fair enough. And do you think the move has brought many benefits to adopters? Do you think it's still coming, the benefits, or do you think that the product as of now is what you envisioned it to be?
Um, on the yield side of things, yes, it is what we envisioned it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm really, I park almost like a significant share of my savings into the product.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm biased, but I
Yeah.
don't think there's any other better place to park your savings,
Okay.
depending on like your restaurants and stuff.
Yeah.
And sorry,
It's okay.
um, like I also like, so product is great, it's liquid, yield is great, it's cross-chain. We're the only ones able to like offer the exact same yield across different chains, mintable 1-1 with USDC. So
Mm-hmm.
we've done what we wanted on this front, on the yield side. On the forex side of things, there is still a ton of work that we need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to improve the price execution from any Euro stablecoin to any USD stablecoin with no fees, or like with like the tightest slippage you can think of.
Yeah.
We're not there yet. It takes time to build this like infra because there are a lot of complex elements in here. But yeah, it's ultimately when we have achieved this, then I'll be like, okay, yeah, we have truly done some good for the space rather than like fragmented more the state of stablecoins. Yeah, like created more fragmentation than
No,
utility.
I understand what you mean. Liquidity being fragmented. No, okay, fine. That's very cool. Um, Something that we touched on even earlier was points, and obviously I mentioned Merkle. Would you just be able to give us like a really high level primer, because I think it's a great product. It's crazy that not more people use it or it's not more heard of, because I haven't come across it and I'm always on CT, but I think it's an amazing product for a lot of protocols.
Yeah, like so we need to do more marketing about
Yeah, no, you definitely need to do more marketing.
so Merkle, it's a side solution. It's not directly the protocol for us. It's a product we had developed because we realized when we grew our Euro stablecoin, we wanted to send incentives to liquidity providers in some pool. And we realized that we're spending a lot of time trying to find ways how to best run these incentive programs and actually run them, that we had to develop front ends. And we're like, okay, maybe we can streamline everything that we have developed for our own use case and make it useful for other people which want to be able to incentivize liquidity in like any protocol super easily.
Mm.
And also we wanted to create an experience for anyone in DeFi. You know, like there's so many places where you can farm. Wanted to create like a non-invasive farming platform where you don't have to stake your tokens to be eligible to rewards and this kind of thing. So Miracle is the solution that many like of the large DAOs, foundations, protocols use to run their on-chain incentive programs. We also work with companies and teams doing points systems. And we have like hundreds of thousands of LPs which are farming opportunities on Miracle every month to take advantage of the rewards put by people using Miracle to run their campaign. So in a way, it's like a marketplace between people who need to grow their networks and people who have capital that they can put at work and like help and use it to help protocols grow while being rewarded for it in a way that is super transparent and like you don't have to stake non-invasive. Like you don't take
Yeah.
any smart contract risk doing this.
Yeah. No time risk, no credit risk per se. So I think it's a great product. I can't believe I've not heard of it before. Like we had our conversation the other day, because I think it could be utilized a lot more from, obviously, I don't know what utilization rates are like, and
I
like
mean, yeah,
what LPs use it, like how
bonus
many
payments
LPs
are
use
quite
it.
high. Like more than $1 million of rewards is
Right.
distributed every week through Merkle.
Wow. Nice.
But like the market, the addressable market is the whole incentives market. So more than $1 million of rewards are distributed every week in incentives in crypto. So yeah, we can do far more than this.
Yeah, but you've got the winning product in my eyes, so it makes sense. Cool. I guess we can end it on a little bit more of like an exploratory note, or like a note that we can think more about. I guess you can either address it as a problem statement or a solution. But if you were to launch something new in crypto to either solve a problem or just create something cool and novel, what would it be? And not angle related. It can be a DeFi llama with execution. It can be whatever you think there's
Yeah,
the biggest problem in crypto, or something that would be fun to build.
I think it would be around payments.
Okay.
Like the fact that, whenever you spend like something with your credit card, the merchant you are like buying something from
Mhm.
receives like 98% or like pays a 1%, 2% commission fee.
Yeah.
In crypto, if you like pay with stablecoins, like there are no fees because you don't have to pay like the credit card network. You just pay the gas. You
Yeah.
don't have to pay your bank for running this. So everything is like quite can be made quite more efficient, and it can be more value for merchants and more like purchasing power for everyone in the world. So I think it'd be something around this, kind of, and like Binance is doing this in a way with Binance Pay, Coinbase as Coinbase Commerce, but I don't think they've been like as far as they could with this idea.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah,
uh,
Athena came out with their Athena Money product 2 days ago, I think, which is similar. There's a startup I know called D Block,
yeah,
actually based out of London. They do like debit card actually, but
yeah,
I'm not sure because it connects to your self custody wallet, and I'm not sure the mechanism behind it.
yeah,
But
but they do a conversion between like
crypto to
whenever you
fiat.
spend they convert in euros, but like
Uh,
so you pay an upfront fee for this. Like I don't think that's the solution.
no, yeah, I see your point. There's a way to be basically zero fee other than gas, because technically it's just wallet to some sort of POS system, or some other abstraction that you need in between to then fix that, because then the fees should not be taken. Cool. I mean, those are all my questions. That was a really, really, really cool session. Thanks for taking us through everything. Angle, really cool to hear some more about your thoughts on the general crypto space, and then on top of that, just to hear some stuff that about building the business, raising the seed round, and that whole journey is really interesting. And I know the viewers are going to love the episode and go through it, and definitely hopefully take a lot of learning from it. But that was really cool. So thanks for your time, Pablo. Appreciate you coming on, and yeah, best of luck with Angle, and we'll keep in touch.
Thank you so much for having me. That was a real pleasure to join. Thank you.
Thanks, Pablo. Appreciate it.